Hello there, scrappy friends. Helen here. Hello. Get to see my face today. Today I am playing along with the Let's Get Organised hop. Our theme for this month is page kits and base pages. So I don't do base pages, so I've got nothing to show you how I store them. But I do page kits. So part of the hop is not to show you, just go, oh look, this is how I store my page kits. It's also about how I put my page kits together. And fortune has it, I have none ready at the minute. So it is something I need to do, and I'm going to do that with you. But before we get started, if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and say hi in the comments. Let me know what you enjoyed about the video. If you don't know what to say, just pop an emoji that represents scrapbooking or organisation, just for the sake of engagement. Right, that's out of the way. Let's get page kitting. Okay, first things first, I keep my page kits in an empty album. Now, if all the page kits I'm doing are going to be for the same album, then I would put them in the page protector in the album that those finished layouts are going to end up in. But when I'm page kitting for lots of different albums, I just put them in one album and I work from that. I tend to page kit going to crops or going to weekend retreats. I still end up taking all the craft room, but I have what I thought I'd do to show you the process. I don't have a retreat to go to until March. I'm going to page kit for the 11 different YouTube hops or creative team projects I've got commitments for next month to February, and I thought I'd do the page kits for them because I've not got a retreat until March. So start with the photos. Let me grab them. So when I've printed my photos, I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with them. They go in these iris container boxes. That's an old DVD case, I've not moved them over yet. They've got 5x7 pictures in, that's why that's in that. These are 2021 and they're like 2015, I think. And then from here, I then decide what I want to scrap and get them all laid out on the desk. Okay, so let me just swivel this around and show you. So I have 11 projects that I know already I need to do in February. February. So I've got 11 sets of photos laid out on the desk. Next thing I do is if there's any sketches I've seen that I like, that I think that'll do, or I've seen a sketch and printed the photos for that sketch, or a scrap lift, layout I've seen, I put the sketch with the photos. It's only these so far that I've actually looked at sketches for. The rest of them, still winging it, and I've not printed anything, or any scrap lifts as well. So I put sketches and scrap lifts, any printouts I've seen, with the photo that I think will work with that sketch or scrap lift. Some that won't have them because I'll just wing it. But yeah, let's do that. So I've gone back to my calendar, and it's actually 14 projects I've got for next month. So what I've done is I've put a little note on each photo pile. I've changed some of them about so that I know which hop or design team or whatever commitment I've got myself into next month, what those photos are for. Because things like my Hey Little Magpie commitments are things from Hey Little Magpie, things from mini pads. There's this hop that needs a specific item, needs to make sure my photo and what I've got fits to that. I've run out of ink in my printer, so I can't. So there's actually 2 piles I do actually need to print photos for, but I've got no ink to print them. So what I thought I'd do as well is I'm going to try and get through some of this stack of Vicky Booton pre-made backgrounds. I've had 3 of the collection, 2 of the 3 12x12 pads that she's done. So I'm going to try and get through this stack by using them as my base layers for some of these layouts. Now this is quite a dark and moody one, so I actually think that this might be okay with it. I might end up printing these photos smaller, but just to give an idea, these are the photos that I'm wanting to print with this. I'm not sure if that photo is going on a layout on its own, because that's Mr. Ding going, it's a shop, because there's a pop-up shop. So he was taking the mick. I'm not going to get 7 or 14, 2 rows of 7 12 by 12s out on this desk. So some of these I'm going to pile up and put to the side and do later. So let me do that and then come back. So after I've got my photos, I've got either my sketch or my scrap lift or what I'm creating it for, and I've got my base page. I then go to this. This is my drawer of scraps. My scraps are in 12 by 12 boxes. These are, if you're in the UK, the Western boxes. You can just get them from their website. And I just go through these for any scraps that I have that may go with what I've already got on the desk. Oh, got a lamp that's falling. Got wires that are falling. So this one is for some Christmas pictures on there. So I know it's a very blue background, but we're gonna add some reds. I'm not sure if I have proper reds. So that's a border I cut for something once and then didn't use it, and we could, depending, I think the photos I've got in mind that I need to print when I've got some new ink, I've got a lot of red in them, and so I think I might actually do that, because as we all know, Vicky Bootin, not Vicky's fault, it's American Crafts. Mixed media pads aren't true 12 by 12, so I do usually end up trimming them down, and I don't like the tear off bit at the top that's left behind when you tear it. So it's just a case of going through my scraps and matching up anything that I think will go. I am going to make sure I can see my pictures. Don't know, I know what pictures I want with that. This is actually, I'm scrap lifting myself, and the pictures that I'm going to put on here are Christmas just gone, Christmas 2023's done in Massey lights. I actually have a picture which is that same picture actually that I took at the last one. So I know what pictures are going there. I've gone for this more neutral background for it, and then build it from there, because there's going to be lots of colours in that. So I'm going to put you on fast forward while I go through the scraps and pop out what I think might look good.
So yeah, going through each of the boxes from my scraps. Some of these choices I make may not look like they make sense when you're watching the video. I promise I will make it work when I'm working those layouts. I may add more too when I actually come to do the layout, and there may be some of the pieces that I put out that don't get used. I do put quite a bit out, quite a range for some of the photos. So there are some bits that might not get used. There are some bits that I might, add to, go back into the scraps or current collections and add some into. So yeah, this is just the initial going through my different scraps to pull out things that I think will work with what's already there, or in the case of the ones I've got no photos for, what I plan to use with that. I said earlier to organise my scraps in these 12 by 12 boxes. I have one for each colour, and then there's a cut parts box and a multicolour box, and then the black and whites all go in one box together. It just makes it easier when storing them away after I've broken down a collection, or with going through them like this. If I know I'm looking for a yellow, I can just go grab the yellow box. And you know me, yellow goes on almost every layout because it's a happy colour. The way I page kit is actually from watching some Chamel videos where she talks about on one of her classes page kitting. And it's just the first time I saw do it this way. I was like, that is so much easier than what I currently do, which is go into a collection, pull half of it out and put about 5 photos with it, and off I go to a crop. So, I do need to do this more often. I haven't actually broken down any kits for a long time. So a lot of these scraps are collections from pre-2020. So some really old collections in this lot. Because as I said, it's a while since I have broken down a kit. You'll also actually see some Maggie Holmes in here, and I don't usually scrap with Maggie Holmes. It's only when it was like in a hip kit, club kit, that Maggie Holmes entered my craft room. So there are some Maggie Holmes bits. I tended to use the B-sides because they were quite generic patterns. There's a lot of page in here. I think that's actually Stamp Market when they did a paper collection. That one I've just pulled out cut parts from. So moving on to the embellishments now. So my embellishments aren't in a collection. So my current collections are keep all together. So the papers, the embellishments, etc. They stay in those Western boxes, those big 12 by 12 ones that you saw my scraps in on my shelf. So, when they're in a collection, it's all together. When it's broken down, they go by product type. So, I've got my acrylics I'm just going through. I think I've just been through metal pieces. Um, these are all my acrylics that aren't like JD 3D print, um, 3D printables or shenanigans or my Bramble Fox acrylics in that box. It was everything but that. They're all stored somewhere else. You'll see that in a bit. So these are all the wax seals that I've pre-made when I was having a session with my wax beads when I was poorly one day, just sat in front of the telly. And then wood veneer. I've got so much wood veneer. I really need to make myself use this more often. I'm going to pop selfie on that one there. So that's a little. It was a frame from like a little local bit of everything type shop. Um, and then going through I love these LE Studio puffy stickers. I need to use these more often as well. So this is making me use them because I'm pulling them out and putting them some with collections there. So on to the thickers for titles and subtitles on pages. I've got so many. Again, these are what's left from collections. I tend not to buy them separately. They tend to be what comes in a collection. Just going through my hip kit there and adding some little words and embellishments from one of these hip kit title puffy sticker sheets. Might even be the same year that some of those bits on that uh, layout scrap lifting was from, but I'll go for that silver squirrely title in the end. Okay, gender stereotype in here. We're getting the blue and green bits off that sheet that from Hit Kit to go with the pictures of Mr. Ding and Little O from when we were on holiday. I'm just pulling out a few different title stickers there. That end piece with the really blue skies, I'm getting pink fresh, a different pink fresh blue, and then the yellow one. I decided I want to do like a multi font title. So this is where my Bramble Fox used to live, my Fox boxes, and that's just one of the recent ones that I've just thrown in there and he's sorting out. It's also got a lot of my Hey Little Magpie bits and pieces in there and ribbons and some JD 3D print that don't fit in the next box I'm going to show you. All my large title perspectives go in this 6x8 folder that I'm just sorting through here and getting some out. So these are from mostly from Fox boxes. I really need to start using these up. And then that A4 Western box I've got there, the little card holder ones they've got. These are all my smaller, some of bits and pieces, embellishments from Hey Little Magpie, so JD 3D print, bits and pieces, Flair, and it's also got my smaller perspectives in there. So they're JD 3D print wood veneer and some of the bits and pieces, fabric flowers that I love. And then, as I said, some of my smaller acrylic bits from my Fox boxes and things I bought with Pay Fox are in there. Right, so we're on to how I store the kits. So just showing you there where I piled them up in one pile. And now I basically put one page kit per page protector. How I used to do this, how my room used to be, was the desks were all along one wall. So I could lay out 9 in a row all along basically 3 desks, my computer desk, to the bit in the middle of my electronic stuff on it, my cutter and stuff like that, and my craft desk on the far end. They used to all lie out, and I used to get 9. So how my desk is now, I've got 8 in 2 rows. So it's a case of piling them up and then sliding them into one page kit per page protector when I'm doing it this way. And then I'm just going through some stamps and adding some stamps and also dies to these pages that I know I want to use these stamps and dies on. So just adding them in there. And then there's just the second pile from the other end of the table, just those left to put in. I've already pulled some stamps out for that. I think I go looking for dies for another one in a minute. But yeah, it's just a case of when I'm putting them away, I'm making sure the photos and what it's for at the front, so I can see, so I know at a glance, you know, what I'm scrapping this for, what the photos are, just to give me a jog. So we are almost done. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out the others taking part in the description below. Have a great day. Bye bye.